The ancient Romans understood the principles of water power very well, and in some outlying parts of their empire, they made extensive and excellent use of water as an energy source. This makes it all the more striking that the Romans made do without water power in regions dominated by large cities. The ancient Romans were very skilled at constructing and maintaining aqueducts that could carry quantities of water sufficient to supply large cities over considerable distances. In the areas in which water power was not used, water flow in rivers and streams was substantial throughout the year, but nevertheless exhibited some seasonal variation. Water power was relatively vulnerable to sabotage, but any damage could be quickly and inexpensively repaired. In most areas to which the use of water power was not extended, other more traditional sources of energy continued to be used. In heavily populated areas, the introduction of water power would have been certain to cause social unrest by depriving large numbers of people of their livelihood.
The Romans are renowned for engineering marvels, among which is the water supply that carried water for many miles in order to provide a crowded urban population with relatively safe, portable water, as well as less essential but very Roman aquatic uses. Rome had 9 main channels of water in ancient times. The first of these was built in the 4th century BC and the last in the 1st century AD. Aqueducts were built because the springs, wells, and Tiber River were no longer providing the safe water that was needed for the urban population. Many ancient Romans used a chamber pot when they had no way of getting to a bathroom. When they were finished, they dumped the pot out the window onto any stray passerby. Laws were eventually written to deal with this, but it still went on. The preferred act was to dump solids into sewers and urine into a tub, because it was even bought by fullers who needed the ammonia in their toga cleaning business. The main sewer of Rome was the Cloaca Maxima. It emptied into the Tiber River. It was probably built by one of the Etruscan kings of Rome to drain the marshes in the valleys between the hills.
Power-generated water wheels had been around for about 600 years, and they occasionally turned up in old writings and old ruins, but this Barbeagle mill was a colossus among water mills.
This mill was built just after 380 in a place called Barbeagle near Arles in southern France. An aqueduct brought water into a catch basin at the top of a small hill. From there it flowed through one pair of water wheels after another. The 16 mills ground enough grain to feed over 12,000 people, roughly the entire population of the 4th century Arles.
Okay, so the Roman Empire had the most advanced set of technologies of its time, and some of which was lost during the turbulent eras of late antiquity and the early Middle Ages. Gradually, some of the technology feats of the Romans were rediscovered and or improved upon, while others went ahead of what the Romans had done during the Middle Ages and the beginning of the modern era. In ancient Rome, many different hydroelectric applications were developed, and including public water supplies, innumerable aqueducts, power-using water mills, and hydroelectric mining. And they were among the first to make use of the siphon to carry water across valleys, and use hushing on a large scale to prospect for and then extra metal ores. Hydroelectric energy is power made by moving water, and hydro comes from the Greek word for water. So hydroelectric energy has been used for thousands of years, and ancient Romans built turbines, which are wheels turned by flowing water. Also, Roman turbines were not used for electricity, but for grinding grains and to make flour and breads. And water mills provide another source of hydroelectric power. And water mills, which were common until the Industrial Revolution, are large wheels usually located on the banks of moderately flowing rivers. Water mills generate energy that powers such diverse activities, such as grinding grain, cutting lumber, or creating hot fires to create steel. Thanks.
What's happening?